Well, Chris Widger is now enjoying his third season as manager of the Sussex County Miners. The team plays in the Frontier League, and right now they're in first place in the Eastern Division of the Atlantic Conference. I remember watching Chris on TV when I was a kid. I've been looking forward to this interview for a while now. Chris Widger, welcome and thanks so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. So you had a great career in the major leagues. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's talk about life now. You've been at the helm of the Sussex County Miners since 2023. I know you played baseball in high school in Pennsville down in Salem County. How are you enjoying things in the northern part of the state with this awesome ball club?
It's been a fun experience. I had no idea. I'd never been up to the Augusta, Sussex County area in my life, so I didn't know that we had that part of kind of New Jersey. I live in the country in South Jersey, but it's flat here, farm fields, and you go up there to the rolling hills. The fans are great. They're so receptive to our team, and they're very loyal to people that come out there. So it's been a really good experience so far.
So the team has had a great start this year, or we're well into the season. They've been playing very well this year. As I said earlier, first place in the conference. The team went just 33-62 last year. Talk about some of the reasons behind the big turnaround this year.
Sometimes there's no answer to that. I wish I had the answer. Last year's team, we really struggled. Great group of guys, and there was 19 returning guys from the team the year before who were very good. 7 All-Stars coming back. For whatever reason, it didn't click. And then this year, we just had a bigger turnover. Went out and got some new guys, got some power in the middle of the lineup with our first baseman and third baseman. Brought in some new pitchers, and it's been really good so far. Ups and downs like every season, but such a good group of guys, such a fun time to be in the locker room with them, to see how well they get along with each other, and just to see the success they've had. And there's been some downtimes too, but they've weathered it and they've kept at it.
Now, I've gotten to know a few members of the organization over the last month or so, and they seem like a really good group of guys. How great is it to be a part of this baseball family, and how welcoming have they been to you?
It's been great. And when you say baseball family, it really is a baseball family. It's more than just coworkers. You see each other so much. Our guys all live so close to the field right there. They're in the locker room 10, 12 hours a day. They have their ping pong table in there. They play. They have their competitions. They play their video games together. So they really do basically live together for the 4 months they're up there. And like I said, we haven't had any problems, which is amazing when you see the same people 10, 12 hours a day.
No, absolutely. Now, talk a little about the atmosphere of Skyland Stadium. It's kind of like Field of Dreams, but instead of corn stalks in the outfield, you got evergreen trees. And not only is it a nice setting, but as you said before, the fans are one of a kind.
They are. We don't get the biggest crowds in the league. It's very rural up there, and not a whole lot of people live in the area, but the fans we get are loyal. I mean, between me and my bench coach, we know most of the season ticket holders will sit behind the dugout. They'll cook meals for some of the guys. They'll bring it in. It's more of a family type thing than it is just kind of a fan versus player kind of thing. Because some of the guys that live with these host families in the area, and you just get to know everybody so much better than you do in some of the other areas.
Now, did managing come naturally to you because of your experience as a catcher? Because in a lot of ways, the catcher is the leader of the team when he's on the diamond. So did that help with the transition?
It did, I think. There was still a big learning curve. When I first started doing this, though, and I broke in Kansas City, I had a bench coach, Mike Jersley, who was the AAA manager still with Kansas City. He was the big league third base coach for Kansas City during a World Series run. And he taught me a lot. I thought I knew the game, and I thought I knew what I needed to do, but it's one of those things you don't know what you don't know until you get to that spot. And so when I get into certain situations, he was right next to me to be able to kind of give me pointers and say, hey, maybe you should have done this, or maybe you should have done it a different way. And it's always a learning curve. I learn every day out there still.
Learn on the job, really. I want to get into your major league career a little bit. You get called up to the Mariners halfway through 1995, and that fall, you and the rest of the team are trying to save baseball in Seattle against the Yankees in the division series. How exciting was it to be a part of that series, your first year in the majors?
It may have been, it's tough to say it's the most exciting year of my career because we did win, the World Series in Chicago. But in a way, it was because the transformation in that city from never winning a division championship, never being to the playoffs. They got the refuse to lose slogans going up. It was my rookie year, and I'm just learning the ropes and just trying to figure things out. And you went from 15,000 people a game in the Kingdom to 58,000 people a game. So the transformation in that city, never forget it. Is one of those things where it's just you look back and you're going, I was just blessed to be in the right place at the right time and get called up and get a chance to experience all that.
Now, you've been on the other side of Yankees history more than once. You were a member of the Montreal Expos during David Cohn's perfect game. I almost hate to bring this up, but the anniversary of that game actually just passed. And in other interviews, I know you've been asked about the toughest pitchers you faced. How tough was Cohn on that day?
He was tough any day. I mean, it's a shame because for him, and that sometimes they say, well, you were facing the Montreal Expos, and it's a perfect game, but it was a bunch of young players. Well, there were some pretty darn good players on that team when you look at Vladimir Guerrero and Orlando Cabrera and Jose Vidro, and I mean, there were some guys that could really play and hit. He had a slider going, and everybody knows about his slider. I was special that day, though. Most of the other guys on the team only struck out once, and I struck out twice. So I helped him out to get through to his perfect game.
Love that. Now, you become a Yankee in 2002. It was short-lived, but as someone with Jersey roots, how awesome was it to put on the pinstripes?
Was never a Yankee fan, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I'm 30 minutes from Philadelphia here in South Jersey, so this is Phillies territory. Grew up a Phillies fan, and so the Yankee aura was never something that I grew up with. And I think that you don't understand it until you actually walk in that locker room and walk on the field and be a part of something that has the history. And then you start looking at, out in center field at the plaques and who's played there. And you just think about who was on that same field because it was old Yankee Stadium at the time. Very special feeling. And then they would bring in, they would have Old Timers Day. And when you see Clete Boyer walk in and all these guys and Ron Guidry and Yogi Berra, you're going, it's amazing it's just a whole different level of special when you walk into Yankee Stadium.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, finally, Chris, you win a World Series with the White Sox in 2005, putting a nice bow on your MLB career. You and the rest of the team were just in Chicago celebrating the 20th anniversary. How great was it to see those guys again?
It was special. Some guys haven't seen since the 10-year anniversary 10 years ago. A couple of the guys haven't seen them in 20 years since the season ended. Some of the guys from Latin America that went home after they retired. So a special time because it was a special group of guys, and that some of us were cast-offs from other teams. Either other teams didn't want us, or picked up Rule 5, or in trades, or throw-in trades, or signed as free agents. And if you look at those guys, player by player, you'd almost have to be a White Sox fan to probably name half the team that was there. And it's only been 20 years. So good group of guys, close-knit again, locker room guys. And I've never been on a good team that didn't have guys that got along in the locker room. So never forget it. And the White Sox, very thankful that they brought us all back.
It's only been 20 years, but I can't believe it's already been 20 years. Chris Widger, manager of the Sussex County Miners, thanks so much for taking the time, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure.